Welcome to Tame Your Talent. Welcome everyone showing on up here today, and also people that may be watching at home. Welcome to you people as well. Today's lesson is the mic check. Well, it's something that is pretty important when it comes down to it. Am I right? I'm right on this one, right? You got to know how to use the mic. If you're going to be breaking into announcing at any point at all, knowing how the mic works is probably one of the most important things. Now, teachable number one when it comes to the mic check is the on and off switch, right? The ON switch, okay? Every mic has it. I have a standard microphone right here. You see what I'm talking about? Now the on and off switches are always in different locations, so you're not quite sure where the on and off switch could be, but you find that out by whoever you're working with and whoever's providing the mic, or you look on the mic itself. And usually you'll have them right about in the middle, right about here on the middle part, or sometimes you'll have them right about the bottom. The bottom can be another spot where the on and off switch can be. And I want to tell you about a story about the on and off switch at the end of this lesson, but we'll get to that in just a moment. But when it comes to the on and off switch, that's the number one thing. You got to know how to turn on the mic, okay? You got to know how to turn on the mic, all right? On and off switch, very important. Now, an antenna, let's talk about that. See, if you're with a wireless mic, all right, wireless microphones have antennas, and usually the antenna on a wireless mic is right at the base. So holding a microphone too low can cover the antenna, and you don't want to cover the antenna no matter what you do, because that will interrupt it from reaching to the destination it needs to go to. So if by covering this and holding it down here, you're blocking the antenna, and when you block the antenna, you can't get the reception. So this is on wireless mics. Now, wireless mics are the ones that have the antenna on them. So that's why you have to make sure the antenna is not being covered. Proper holding would be right about just like this. The antenna is clear. You notice how the antenna is clear? So now the antenna can reach to wherever it needs to go with this being clear and open. So always make sure the antenna is clear. Now also, okay, the antenna has another antenna that it goes to. So it's always good to ask, if you're using a wireless mic, if you're using one that is complete wireless, ask where the antenna is for the microphone, because that's important to know too, because you want to know where that's at, because you need a line of sight. And what they talk about with the line of sight is you need to be able to see the antenna, and the antenna needs to be able to see the microphone and reach it. So if it's behind a wall and it's blocked or something like that, well, you can't do it. So you got to make sure you do that when it comes to trying to reach the antenna. So always find out before you do an event where the antenna is located. You know the antenna is on the mic, but where is the antenna? Is it on scaffolding? Is it up high? Is it down low? If I talk over here, is it going to mix? See, so you need to know that, very important. Now then we also talk about wireless versus hardline. Now, hardline is a terminology that you're going to hear in microphone jargon. And a hardline microphone is just what it is. It's a microphone that's plugged in. So the microphone is plugged in, it runs to a source. And then the situation that is just an on and off switch is all you're using. You're just using the on and off switch for that. So wireless versus hardline. Hardline is much easier to use, but then again, you also have to realize you can't go as far with a hardline mic. You need to know how far it reaches. Are you going to be able to see what you need to be able to see? Can you access where you need to be able to access by having a hardline mic? And also another thing about a hardline mic is if you get to your job and you're ready to go and plug in the mic, or you're to turn on the mic for the first time, well, one of the biggest things you need to know is it plugged in? And if there's no sound person there, maybe there's not a sound person even working the venue that you're at. You're at a place where you're kind of doing it all. Well, you can do it all. Follow the microphone cable until where it goes into a board, and then you know where that situation is. And that's how you make sure you have it wired in like that. So hardline, much easier. When there's a wireless microphone, you got to do a little bit of extra work with the wireless microphone. Look where your antenna is. Make sure you don't cover your antenna down here at the bottom. You just need to know on that when it comes down to it. Understanding how it works is the number one situation. The on and off switch, you got to know that. The antenna, you got to know the antenna. And you got to know, is it a wireless? Is it a hard line? Just how to use it. Super easy stuff. But that's going to make it so much easier on understanding how it works. You may think that that's just a small little item that people don't really even think that that's important, but holding the mic is very important. Holding the mic is huge because there's a correct way to hold a mic and there is an incorrect way to hold a mic. And let me show you the correct way, okay? The correct way to hold a mic. Let it be known right here, this is the correct way. See, I'm on the mic. The correct way to hold the mic. My face is not covered. The mic has a nice little distance to the top, and so it works perfect. Do you see how this works? This is the proper way to hold the mic. Now, how about this? Is this a proper way to hold the mic? No, it's not a proper way to hold the mic. People do it all the time, but it's not the best way to hold the mic because one thing it does is it blocks your face. See? Blocking your face is what you don't want to do when it comes down to it. So mic hold down here, very important to hold it in this situation right here because that's proper. And that also works for a live event, but that works for TV too. So if you're on TV and you're hosting an event and you're somewhere, I'm here live. That's the proper way to hold it. See how I'm addressing the camera with it? The mic is in the proper situation. It's down here. It's not up here. It's not the rap guy up here. It's down here. And that's the proper way to hold the mic. All right, now I did mention rap star, right? All right. Now, how many times have you seen someone hold the mic and they're doing this thing? They're putting the mic upside down inverted, okay? How many rappers, how many musicians have you seen, show of hands, have done this, right? Few of you, yeah. Okay, so a few of you know, you've seen this before. This is the improper way to hold a mic, okay? If you are a rap star, a budding rap star, and you have a rap career going on, well, then maybe this is the way that you want to hold the mic. But that is upside down. That's not the proper way. Does it look cool? I don't know. You be the judge. Does it look cool? But it's not the proper way to hold a mic, okay? All right. Positioning, all right? Well, positioning the mic in a perfect situation is how I was showing you. If a mic is down just right about here, it doesn't take over the shot. When it comes down to it, you don't want the mic in the shot up here in your face, just like I was showing you like this, or just like I was showing you right there. The sweet spot, always hold it properly like here. Now, sometimes the mic might be a little too low for that area, and you want that to be able to pick up your volume. So sometimes you have to scoot it up just a little bit closer. But keeping the mic right here is the most professional way to hold a mic. When it comes down to it, you got to know how to hold it. Not the rap guy, not like this in your face, just like this, the proper way to hold the mic. How do you use the mic? Oh, right, we've learned the on and off switch. We learned how to hold it. We learned all this stuff. Well, how do you use it? Now, you're going to hear me, and you heard me mention it before, the sweet spot. The sweet spot is what it's all about. You can just rest that mic, and you can feel comfortable that the mic is in that proper location for you to get the best sound out of your voice is this way. And this is the way to do it. So when I talk about the sweet spot, if I refer to it in other classes, in other lessons, I call it the sweet spot. No, that's the sweet spot. And when you're in the sweet spot with your mic, you look professional, you look good at what you're doing, you look like you've done it before, okay? You get it? The sweet spot, all right? Testing and inspecting, okay? I told you I got a story for you, and I'm gonna tell you the story in a second, but testing and inspecting, okay? You need to know if the mic works. You with me, right? You want to know the mic works. The mic's got to work, or it's going to be a long day without the mic working. Well, how do you test and inspect it? Well, for one, you can turn it on. Now, I always say, if there's an event going on, there's people at the venue, or there's people here at the event you're on the microphone for, do you really want to go on the mic and go, test 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, is this on? Check 1. Do you want to do that? You don't want to do that. It's not something you want to do, okay? It doesn't sound professional for one, because you're testing the mic when people are in the house already. So if you want to make sure the mic is working, there's a couple little ways, a couple cheater ways I can show you, okay? You turn on the mic, okay? A little tap. Just a little tap right there, and you might be able to hear it right out of the speakers. And if you hear that little tap, out of the speakers, then you know you got a working mic. Or something I like to do is just a little wind, just blowing the mic just a touch, just a little bit, right? Just so you can hear it. Isn't that better than going testing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, check 1, 2, when people are trying to come into the venue and hang out, right? So test it, inspect it, make sure it works. Also, if it's a wireless, check the battery levels. Battery levels, sometimes on wireless mics, they will show you a little chart and it'll show you how the battery's doing. So you're starting out for the start of the beginning of a day, you're gonna be announcing all day long. Well, check the battery level, make sure you look good. Okay, 3/4 of a battery. That should get me by. If it's low, replace the battery, right? Okay, super easy. Speaker boundaries. Now, this is something that I cover in some of the other courses, my 201 and my 301. More the advanced courses I start covering this, but you've got to learn it at some point, and it's all about the speaker boundaries. Now, what are speaker boundaries? Okay, speaker boundaries are basically how far you can go where you can still be heard in the speakers or the speakers feeding back. How many times have you heard a speaker feed back when an announcer gets on a microphone, he's in front of the speaker and he starts talking, and then you hear this horrific sound that is just so bad? Now, that could have been avoided. That could have been avoided by knowing your speaker boundaries. So if you're coming to an event, you're an announcer, and you're going to be there for the first time, and you see where your microphone's at. You see that you're on a lined microphone, on a hard line mic. You see where it stretches. Now you look for the speakers, okay? And then you look for where's the best place that I'm going to announce this from, right? Where's the best place? Well, I like this little spot. Well, will that spot work? Or is that the wrong spot to announce from because you're in front of a speaker? So if you pay attention to the fact that where the speakers are located, you will not have this problem, okay? If you see the speakers, stay behind all speakers when it comes down to it. You do not want to be in front of the speaker because can you imagine starting off your announcing day and first thing you start saying is you're talking in front of a speaker and it's feeding back on you? How would you feel about that one right there? Just all kinds of horrendous noise, and this is your start of your day. You're not looking too pro, so know your speaker boundaries, okay? All right, so let's recap, all right? The mic check, understanding how a mic works, numero uno when it comes to being important. You need to know how a mic works. It doesn't take very much time. There's not a lot of switches when it comes down to a microphone, okay? So understanding how it works and understanding the on-off switch and how that works. The antenna, know the antenna situation, usually at the bottom of a wireless. Also make sure the antenna, wherever you have to reach, is in location. And then suss out your mic. Is your mic wireless, like this mic, or is it hardlined? Is it plugged in? All right, holding the mic, always so important. You don't have to be the rap star guy. You don't have to be in the face guy. You could just be the guys holding it properly like this. Using the mic, knowing how it works, testing and inspecting. Make sure you turn it on, test it, hear it. You don't have to say test, but soft little tap like that just so you can hear it and you hear it coming out of the speakers, then you know your mic is working. So that's important. And then obviously, know your speaker boundaries. Know where you can stand and where you cannot stand, because knowing that can make your day of announcing a whole heck of a lot easier. And before I go, my story for the mic check lesson, and these are stories that I've learned from my mistakes in the past. Okay, in radio, I was doing a live remote. And a live remote for a radio station is when you go live on the air at your location, okay? So here I am, live remote. I got the producer standing off camera. He's got the 5 count in his head. He's telling me 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It goes to me. I'm on the mic. I start talking. Here's what comes out. I'm not saying anything. Well, actually, I was saying something, but it wasn't coming out. And here's a live remote for all to see, all to hear, and I'm not coming out. And why was I not coming out? Why? Because the ON switch was in the off position. The one thing that I did not check on a live radio remote was the on switch. How do you not check the one thing that you need to be checking? It's the on switch, and that's it. So I've learned that was a teachable moment. I'll tell you right now, maybe I've done it 1 or 2 times since then, but over 20 years, that's something that doesn't happen very often. That is Tame Your Talent, and that is the mic check.